I don't know if you guys probably know this one, but it's really easy to find. This is like the third eye point. This is called yin tong. In Chinese, it means the hall of impressions. Okay. This is a Shen calming point. That's its main function. That's what we use it for a lot. But it can also be used to like open the nose. Basically, when you for local points to treat the nose, you can kind of think of a triangle. Yin tong is one possible point for that triangle, and then you have the Li20, okay, to form the two corners of the triangle. Other points that are used for the nose include like Do23 or something like that, but yin tong is commonly used for nasal type problems. Okay? So this is yin tong, hall of impression. Okay. Another point that is on the head is yu yao. I'm not going to put a sticker on it, but it's basically at the midpoint of the eyebrow. It should also match the pupil line, you know. But it's right on the middle of the eyebrow here. Okay. Let's see. And that point, it's just you know, it benefits eyes. It's also for, you know, headaches in that area. Okay. All right. Next point that I'm going to do is Taiyang. Okay. This is more on the side of the head. This is probably the number one point for like the temple area. Yeah? Okay. So outer canthus is here. Lateral extremity of the eyebrow is here. Kind of think of these as two corners of the triangle, and you're trying to find the third corner. So it's going to be about midway between the outer canthus and the lateral extremity of the eye. It almost looks like, you know, you have these two kind of pointing this direction, yeah? You just follow them both out to about here. Okay, it's very close, or it can be very close to your gallbladder 1. But gallbladder 1 is a little lower, more in line with the outer canthus right here. Okay, Taiyang is a little bit above that. Okay, because it's supposed to be between the lateral end of the eyebrow and the outer canthus. Okay, that's Taiyang. Okay. Another point is Erjian. Erjian is just basically the tip of the ear. So this, you know, the way that we find the apex of the ear by folding the ear forward to find Sanja 20. Well, that's how we find Erjian, but Erjian is on the ear itself, so it's like on the ear apex itself. This point is sometimes bled for like to treat hypertension. Okay. I'm not gonna mark that. Okay. Another extra point is Bitong. Okay. You know where large intestine 20 is? Large intestine 20 is about at the midpoint of the align nasi right here, on this nasal labial groove right here. So Li20 would be about here. Okay. Bitong is higher. So if you were to follow this nasal labial groove all the way up until you hit the nasal bone, that's where Bitong is right here. Okay, so it's higher. And a lot of times what people will do is they'll needle from Li20 and they'll just thread the needle all the way up to Bitong, all the way up to this point. Okay. And you can kind of see what it does, you know, even as I'm like sliding up this way, it's like opening up. You know those like nasal, whatever, those nasal strips for people who like snore. It's kind of, when you needle that point, it kind of has the same function. I mean, in the sense that it actually physically kind of pulls the nostrils up and out so that there's more, so that it opens up. Okay, Bitong is a important local point for any kind of nasal problems. Okay?
What about like sinus headaches?
Yeah, it can be used for that as well. Okay, local area. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, let me just do a couple more. Song and Annyeong. Okay, I'm gonna have you sit up actually. Alert awakening, I think it for alert spirit.
Si Shen Song.
Yeah, song. Okay. For this point is just it's actually 4 points, and there are 4 points that surround D20 on the top. Okay. So we find D20, you know, kind of roughly in line with the posterior border of the ear. Okay. So on the top of the head, like back here. So once we find D20, okay, Sisen Song is one sun in front of, behind, and to either side of the D20. Okay, I'm not gonna mark it with a stick or anything, but it's like these 4 points here. Okay, and you know usually the points are needled towards the D20 in the middle. This point is Shen calmer. It also like the name says for alert spirit, so it can be used to like study point or something, like you're drawing all this energy up to this area. But it's also used to treat wind in the head, like which manifests as like dizziness or some kinds of headaches. One more point is Annyeong. Annyeong, it means peaceful sleep. So as the name implies, this point is used to help people to fall asleep. Okay. This can be a little bit tricky or hard to find. Okay, because it is close. It's really close to gallbladder 12 actually. But what you do is you find Sanjiao 17. Sanjiao 17 is behind the earlobe here, and you find gallbladder 20. So gallbladder 20 is between the trapezius muscles and the sternocleidomastoid muscles right here, below the occiput. So where my thumb is on gallbladder 20. Where my index finger is on Sanjiao 17. And we find the midpoint between those 2 points. And we're going to be on this raised area. Okay, and this is where we find our Annyeong. Now, it really is close to gallbladder 12 because this is the mastoid process right here. Okay, gallbladder 12 is like maybe a little bit posterior to Annyeong. Okay, but they are very close. Okay, and usually we needle this perpendicular. What we're needling into is the sternocleidomastoid as it attaches to the mastoid process right here. But this point is, again, it's Annyeong, so helps people to fall asleep. Okay.
Wait, back.